Religion in outer space. Well, I think it's a fascinating topic, one that I've been thinking about continually here and there. And I think there are sort of two schools of thought. There, on one hand, there are people who have this vision of us leaving Earth and leaving things like religion behind us. But I think so far in our brief history, our 50 years or so of actually traveling into the immediate area of outer space, we've seen that people do bring their religion with them. Buzz Aldrin brought communion wine and wafers with him to the moon. We've made sure that we have had kosher food for our astronauts on the International Space Station. And I was particularly fascinated by recent developments involving Islamic astronauts. In the last few years, the Malaysian government was particularly interested in this, and actually assembled a group of scholars and scientists, all very interested in what happens when we take Islam into outer space. They were looking at such topics as, what do you do if you're fasting for Ramadan? And based on the recommendations of this particular group of scholars and scientists, they decided, well, you can make up for your fasting for Ramadan before or after you go into space. Likewise, if you're having to pray in the direction of Mecca, how does that work when you're in outer space? And they decided that ideally you would want to position your body pointing towards where Mecca would be on the Earth, but if you are farther away from the planet, then it's fine to just direct yourself towards the planet. And if you find yourself in the situation where you don't know where the Earth is anymore and you're traveling in space, because that would be a good time to start praying to something, you can just pray wherever, because ultimately the prayer, according to these guys, is more important than the direction. Likewise, your bodily position during a prayer. Traditionally, praying towards Mecca would involve either lying down or kneeling, various body postures that might not be possible in a weightless or cramped environment, in which case they said that in extreme situations you would be able to merely picture the bodily position in your mind while praying. So those are just some of the interesting ways that we're already thinking about how do we take this religion that means a lot to us into space with us. And likewise, how is our religion going to continue to evolve and change in the way it's expressed as we make this jump into the outer void? So yeah, that's just an idea of what it's going to be like when we start thinking about God in outer space. Well, this is another fascinating question, and one that certainly you see pop up in science fiction a lot. In the Dune books by Frank Herbert, he had this whole thing where the dominant religion ended up becoming the Orange Catholic religion, so it's like space religion, Earth religion completely changing as it sort of shambles through the ages and becomes part of not a terrestrial civilization, but an interplanetary or even interstellar civilization. It's really hard to imagine what religion in the future might be like, because religion is so tied to place. It's tied to the cycle of life and death that we're accustomed to. But as we're looking, centuries or even millennia into the future, it's difficult to say, because what will our lifespans be like? Will biological death be a thing of the past? And if so, how does that alter the way that we're perceiving the end of our life? And the possibility of an afterlife. Certainly if we end up with digital immortality, to where there'll be a version of you stored on a computer, then there won't be as much of a question of what happens to me after I die, because you can pick it up and hold it and stick it into a computer. Another interesting question is, what happens if we discover alien life on another planet? Because so much of our religion is based upon the idea of a divine being or beings creating humans, and we're pretty much we're a pretty egotistical society, a pretty egotistical species, in the same way that all of our personal drama is always about the individual. All of our cosmological religious drama is always about humans. So if we discover another intelligent alien form of life, then suddenly we have to incorporate that into it. Did a god or gods that we believe in create these guys too? And then what if these guys already have it figured out? What if it's not a situation of us sharing our religion with them, but these extraterrestrials sharing their system of faith with us? it turns everything on its head because like I say, our religion is something that's grown on the planet. And as we take it off the planet, I think it inevitably becomes something different. The big question is to what extent we can control the positive expression of religion when we leave the planet. So, I think it's something that we should take with us, just make sure that we take the positive aspects of it with us.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit HowStuffWorks.com. And don't forget to check out our other podcasts, free, on iTunes.